Train travel is taking off this summer in Seattle. Amtrak recently announced an upgraded fleet of trains connecting Vancouver, BC, Seattle, Portland, and Eugene. This as Amtrak has seen record ridership across the country. Hey, our travel guy, Gabe Saglie is in the city of Christchurch on the South Island of New Zealand right now, where rail travel is also having a moment. A good morning to you, Gabe. You're actually in the future. It is Tuesday there, and it's very early in the morning as well, right?
Hey, Morena, John, that's how they say good morning in the Maori language here in New Zealand. Yeah, I'm on the South Island. It is very early on Tuesday morning, but the future looks bright, my friend, so things are good.
Yeah, now this is your first trip to New Zealand, I understand, one of my favorite places. What was it like getting there for you?
So, yeah, I know you've been here, and it was sort of a quick trip for you. It's a quick trip for me, a bit of a teaser. I know I'm going to be back, but my first question was, how long is that flight going to take me? I live in Southern California, 6,500 miles between LA and Auckland, but I took that nonstop Air New Zealand flight. I got to tell you, 12 hours and 10 minutes. I timed it on my stopwatch there. And actually, if you can manage to get some sleep and watch a couple of good films, it's much more accessible than you think. And then I landed in Auckland, John, and I visited a place called Hangar 22. Now, this is where it's sort of a secret innovation lab that Air New Zealand has, where they test their things like the brand new seats they'll put in premium economy or maybe business class, or their new their sky couch situation where you can turn economy seats into a bed, and where they're testing out their brand new Sky Nest, which will premiere in November on their JFK to Auckland flight, a 17-hour flight, but you'll be able to sort of basically rent a 4-hour stint in one of their bunk beds during that flight if you're an economy or premium economy. So a wonderful, affordable alternative to having to upgrade to a premium cabin and still get a lie flat sort of sleeping experience. It's going to be about $70 an hour for a 4-hour stint in one of those bunk beds. But and it's kind of a cool thing to see how these airlines, like an airline like Air New Zealand, puts a lot of these things to the test over many years before they launch them out to the public.
Yeah, we were just showing video of you in that bunk bed. That looks like a great idea for such a long flight, and comfy, yeah. Hey, you've also been traveling by train in New Zealand, so what's that experience been like?
Well, just like you mentioned there in the U.S., where Amtrak is setting records, we've got new rail availability. The fact is that train travel is back, and a destination like New Zealand certainly leaning into that in a big way. Gas prices are up, jet fuel costs are sending airfare costs up, and the fact of the matter is that rail travel is convenient. Someone else is doing the driving. You get to enjoy the scenery in a much more intimate and immersive way. I have been playing with a company called Great Journeys New Zealand, which actually has these wonderful rail trips both on the North Island and South Island of New Zealand. I'm out here with my 18-year-old son, Grayson. So this was a great opportunity to leave the driving to somebody else and really sort of enjoy these gorgeous landscapes that New Zealand is famous for. The Northern Explorer takes you across the North Island from north to south. And then, of course, their Transalpine train experience takes you across from the east to the west coast of the Southern Island, which is much more, that's where the Alps are. It's a much more sort of dramatic snow-capped experience. So you get to really experience the differences between these two islands. But then when you're on board, John, the beauty is that they're feeding you, and the wine they're pouring is a mirror of the regions that you're traveling across. Storytelling to kind of bring these destinations to life. So it's been a very immersive and just a very unique way to experience this beautiful destination.
So good food and drink on the train, but you're also saying there's real good food scene there in New Zealand as well.
So the big news here is that today being Tuesday here in New Zealand, but by June 30th, later on today here, tomorrow for you, John, Michelin will actually launch in New Zealand for the very first time. So this is the kind of thing that for a destination like New Zealand gets a lot of foodies around the world to perk up and consider a destination like this as a place to come visit and enjoy some amazing food. And I've got a chance to try some fantastic food out here in the city of Wellington, which is the capital of New Zealand. They're on the North Island. I went to a place called Jano Bistro, an amazing multi-course meal. The service was almost like a performance, John, and the regionality, the uber local approach to food with these very creative chefs has really elevated the dining scene here in New Zealand. So when the Michelin Guide announces their star winners or their Bib Gourmand winners later on today, June 30th, I think a lot of people around the world that follow their taste buds when they travel will consider New Zealand as a great destination. But again, the wines down here, wonderful wines in the Pacific Northwest, but a lot of these New Zealand wines don't make it out of the country. So these restaurants out here are a perfect gateway to some of the delicious wines, certainly that pair wonderful with this regional cuisine down here in Kiwi country, as they call it.
Absolutely. You did a lot in 5 days. Travel guy Gabe Saglie, thanks for joining us this morning.